Welcome to Weekend Hatha Flow. My name is Amy Sullivan with Aspire Zen. I am a yoga teacher as well as a health and nutrition coach. And this morning sequence, today, we're going to be getting a lot into our hamstrings as well as doing some nice juicy deep twists to wring out our internal organs. So I was just telling the class participants, anybody that's coming on, if you don't need any props ever for my classes, but you might want a cushion or a block if you have one, I will show you alternatives without them. And we are going to start our session today in a nice easy pose, a Sukhasana. You could also do the first few poses sitting in a chair. So if that's feeling more easeful for your body this morning, I invite you to sit in a chair for the first couple rounds. For all of these poses, for anything, I'm here to give you guidance, to inspire you, but you know yourself, you know your body better today than I could ever know you. So please always listen to what your body's asking for throughout all of these poses and give your body what it needs. If you need to ease off, please ease off. If you need to make an adjustment, make an adjustment. If you want to go deeper, have at it, but take care of you, okay? So from your easy pose or maybe seated in a chair, I want you to focus in on grounding down. So if you're in the chair, have your feet contacting with the earth, with the floor. If you're seated in easy pose, have your sit bones contacting into the earth. And maybe you find that nice even, maybe spread some of the flesh away so you find that even grounding down. And then as you find your seat, your even grounding, balance that out by lengthening through your spine. And then bring your hands to some place that's comfortable. Maybe that's seated on your knees. Maybe it's resting in your lap. And I invite you to close your eyes here and begin by just centering in, arriving here on this beautiful Saturday. Notice your position on the mat. Notice any sensations going on in your body, warmth, coolness, any stiffness or ease. Just notice, just take a quick scan. And start to come into breath awareness. Start to become conscious of the rhythmic rise and fall of your breath. Your belly, your chest, moving with your inhales and your exhales. And then from here, let's start to deepen. So the next inhale, make it nice and full and rich and deep. Start by filling up your belly. Then your chest fills with air. Expand even further into your sternum, your shoulders. Hold at the top for just a moment. And exhale just as big, just as deep. Press it out. Press all the air out of your belly, your lungs. Everything flows out. Let's do that one more time. Nice big belly breath in. Holding at the top for just a moment. And exhale, nice big deep breath out. And from here, I invite you to start using your yogic breath, your Ujjayi breath. For that, as you inhale, seal your lips together. Keep your lips sealed, start to breathe evenly in and out through your nose. And as you breathe, allow a little gentle constriction in the back of your throat. It's almost like there's an ocean wave crashing as you breathe in and out. It sounds something like this. That should build heat and focus and help you concentrate in your journey. You're welcome to use that throughout class or release it anytime you like. And from here, my friends, flutter your eyes open. Keep that nice straight spine. Inhale both your arms up, lift them up over your head. Grow nice and tall and long. Press your palms toward one another. Rotate your pinkies toward the front of your space. Rotate your armpits toward one another. One more big inhale here. Exhale, side bend over to the right. Drop your right hand down. Lift your left arm up and over. Feel like you're stretching up, like you're draping over a barrel or something round. So you're kind of getting a stretch from both sides. Feel a nice little opening along your left ribs. And then inhale, come right back up to center. Let's do the other side. Exhale, side bend left. So once again, ground down through your sit bones as you reach up and over through your side body, feeling a nice opening through your right ribs. Square your shoulders off to enhance the stretch in the side body. Beautiful job. Inhale, right back up, arms up. And exhale, bring them down. Now I'm gonna give you a choice. We're gonna do a twist from the navel center. You could stay seated in your Sukhasana here, your easy pose. You could stay seated in your chair, or you can make it a little bit of a deeper twist, and that's what I'm gonna demonstrate here. So the twist with Sukhasana, be arms up and twist from your belly to the right and left. To deepen that, uncross your legs, roll over onto your left hip. So you can see my knees are bent together and I'm still facing forward with my chest and my body. And then inhale, arms up. And exhale, oops, everyone twist to the left for this one because that's how my knees are. So twisting from the navel center, your right hand will go on your knees in the front. Your left hand draws behind you. It could either be placed on the ground to help give you more leverage, or maybe you bend your left elbow and wrap it around if that feels available to you. It's still really early in the practice for a nice little half bind. It's just a deeper version of twisting. Same stretch though if you're sitting in easy pose or in a chair. One more inhale here. And exhale, gently unwind, come back to center. Whatever variation you took on the other side, do it for this one as well. So if you're doing the hip twist, now shift over so you are leaned onto your left hip. Once your knees are bent, come back up. So straight, long spine. Inhale, arms up. This time twist away from your knees. Once again. Just getting deep into the spine. Again, if this feels sensitive to your lower back, I recommend you switch to cross legs or chair. Just a few breaths here. Each inhale gives you the opportunity to grow a little taller through your spine. Each exhale, maybe you twist a little deeper. Last inhale here. Exhale, unwind wherever you are. Let's meet on all fours for a few cat-cows. So from here, you're gonna come off your chair if you were in a chair for this. Come onto all fours. Align your knees underneath your hips, your wrists underneath your shoulders, and spread your fingers out nice and wide to give you some grounding and support. Knit your abs in towards your spine to protect your lower back. Beautiful job. Press down through your feet, press down through your hands. Inhale, cow pose. Drop your belly toward the mat. Squeeze your shoulder blades together as you roll your shoulders back and down. Lift your hips up. Look up as you shine your heart forward. Feel a nice opening and stretching through your front body this time. Widening across your sit bones. Ground your hands and legs into the earth to support you. Exhale, cat pose. Tuck your chin, tuck your hips. Lift your spine up toward the ceiling. Round through your shoulders, through your back. Separate your shoulder blades apart from one another. Beautiful job, everyone. Let's do a few more rounds in flow. Inhale, cow pose. Drop your belly down, shine your heart forward, hips up. Exhale, cat, tuck and round, lift up. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Let's do that one last time. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. Inhale, come back to a neutral spine this time. Bring your toes to touch one another. Separate your knees out nice and wide. Exhale, child's pose. Shift your hips back over your heels. Drop your forehead, your third eye touches toward the center of your mat. And then extend your hands out long in front of you to elongate through your spine. Option to press into the earth with your hands to lift your elbows up off the ground. Feel a little awakening of your triceps, of your upper arms. Feel that body awareness, that shift of the counterbalance of you shifting your hips over your heels as you stretch your fingertips long in front of you. You'll be focusing on a lot of poses that start with the sensation of grounding today. Grounding is that spiritual, physical, mental connection with the earth, that rooting down. So in a lot of these poses, I would love for you to focus on rooting down first and then moving into whatever other position we go into. So rooting down with your feet, your knees here, your hands. Inhale, come back up, tabletop. Separate your feet. And then as you root down through your hands, make sure your pointer finger, take a peek down. Make sure your pointer finger is parallel to the long edges of your mat. Maybe even your fingertips turn out a little bit. That's gonna help support a nice broad shoulder and back. Inhale, tuck your toes under. Exhale, downward facing dog. Engage your abs, lift your hips up toward the sky. Shift your hips back so your belly presses towards your thighs, and begin in this first down dog to waken your back body by bending one knee as you straighten the other. Root down through your hands to send the energy up through your arms. Rotate your armpits toward one another to elongate through your spine. Come back to stillness here in your down dog. Inhale, come to the balls of your feet up on your tippy toes. Exhale, send your heels toward the mat. Maybe they make it, maybe they don't. Just a little stretch and warm up for your calves. Let's do that once again. Inhale, up to your toes. Exhale, send your heels toward the mat. Moving on from here, inhale, lift your heels up. Slightly bend your knees as you look forward. Inhale. Exhale, ragdoll pose. Take 1 or 2 or maybe 3 giant steps to the top of your mat. Keep your knees very bent. Allow your feet to be hips width apart. Option to grab onto opposite elbows here. And just let gravity help you dangle upside down. Shake your head yes and no. And then gently release your hands down if they were crossed. Root down, ground into your feet, and then start to roll up. Tuck your pelvis under as you come up vertebrae by vertebrae, very slow. As you reach the top, roll your shoulders back and down. Find a nice strong standing at attention here, facing the top of your mat. Bring your hands to heart center. Option to close your eyes here. We're gonna set an intention for today's practice. What would you like to be focusing on? I invite in the community intention of grounding, rooting down, finding that connection to the earth, connection within. Help pull you back down when life gets chaotic. So whatever your intention, grounding or otherwise, let's seal it together with one big collective breath. Nice big belly breath in here. Open mouth, exhale, sigh it out, let something go. Beautiful job, team. And then flutter your eyes open, bring your hands down by your sides, your palms facing forward. Root down through your feet. Roll your shoulder blades back and down so you lift up through your spine. Feel a little tuck in your pelvis, a lift through your hip points in the front. Engage your abs in. And lift your toe, an option to, here, first feet, option to have them hips width. You're at the top of the mat for some stability. Or you could draw your big toes to touch, a little sliver of space between your heels. Either way, you lift your toes up, just your toes off the mat. Feel now how you're pressing, rooting into the earth from all 4 corners evenly of your feet. Maintain that sensation. Lift or send your toes back down. And now from here, inhale, mountain pose, root down with your feet, lift your fingertips up toward the sky. Your palms face one another, squeeze your thighs together. Knit your abs in, look up. Inhale as you grow even taller. Exhale, micro back bend. Cactus your arms out, bend your elbows, squeeze your shoulder blades together, shine your heart up towards the ceiling. This is very tiny action. Keep rooting down through your feet, keep tucking your tailbone under. Inhale, mountain pose, lift your fingertips up high once again. Exhale, forward fold, bring your hands to heart center. Bend your knees slightly, hinge from your hips. Come down into a nice bend. You can bend your knees as much as you need to here. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Pause here, breathe easy for a moment. Find length through your spine by rolling your shoulder blades back and down, heading towards your tailbone. Parallel your torso to the mat. And rest your hands maybe on your thighs, maybe on your shins, above or below the knee socket. Inhale, grow a little bit taller from the crown of your head to your tailbone. Exhale, forward fold, plant your palms. Root your hands into the earth, spread your fingertips nice and wide. Inhale, step back to a plank pose here. Option to drop to your knees at any time, but keep your hips in line with your shoulders, knit your abs in towards your spine, rotate your armpits toward one another, flex through your feet, roll your inner thighs up toward the ceiling. Beautiful job, so strong. Inhale, come slightly forward. Exhale, lower halfway down. Keep your elbows next to your body as you lower. Inhale, upward facing dog. Draw your hands back as you shine your heart forward and roll forward. Lift your thighs up off the ground. Option to keep your thighs on the ground. Maybe your elbows are bent for a lower cobra. One more inhale here, just feeling a stretch through your belly, through your front body. And exhale, downward facing dog. Tuck your toes under. Engage your abs to lift your hips, rolling back into your down dog. Notice now if this downward facing dog might feel a little different than the last downward facing dog. A little warmer. Root down, sending weight into the ball mound of your index finger and your thumb to protect your wrists and open up, lengthen through your back. Come back to your breath. Reconnect with your yogic breath, your ujjayi. Breathing in and out through your nose. Inhale, come onto the balls of your feet. Bend your knees slightly, look forward. Exhale, forward fold. Step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back once again. Exhale, forward fold. We're gonna take that into a flow breath to movement. Inhale, mountain pose. Root down with your feet. Guide your fingertips up toward the sky, look up. Exhale, micro back bend, cactus your elbows out wide, shine your heart up. Inhale, mountain pose, rise high. Exhale, forward fold. Let your heart guide you as you bow down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, high plank to low plank. Plant your palms, step your feet back. Come slightly forward, bend your elbows halfway down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful job, recenter, a few breaths here. Come back to your intention. Think of the things that make you feel grounded, secured, centered, safe. Think of something that makes you feel solid and rested and peaceful. Focus in on that image. Inhale, come to the balls of your feet, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, forward fold, step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Root down, rise high. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Beautiful job. Moving on from here, my friends. Inhale, shift the weight to your left hip. Wrap your outer left hip in. Bring your hands to your hips. Option to kick, we're gonna step your right foot back to the back edge of your mat. So option to lift up as you inhale your right knee up. And then as you exhale, tilt your chest and torso forward as you kick your right foot back. Or you can just step back. Here's your little balance challenge option. Flex through your right foot as you reach back. And then gently land your right foot back down. Fan the back foot out, which will be your right foot in this case. So it's out about 45 degrees. And then bend through your front knee. Finding our base for warrior two here. Beautiful job. Shift the weight into the heel of your front foot, and then rotate your front thigh out. You can even put your hand on it to kind of, to see an alignment of your knee with your second and third toe. From there, open through your hips, shift the weight into the outer knife edge of your back foot. Shine your heart and your hips trending toward the long edge of your mat. Maybe they don't go all the way there. The idea, the intention is this way. Then extend your fingers out, warrior two. Open through your heart, spread your fingertips wide to either end of your mat. Gaze over your left fingertips. Come back to your breath. A few breaths here. Inhale, sink just a little bit lower down. Exhale, extended side angle. Reach out in front of you as far as you can reach as you tilt your pelvis forward. Then tick-tock your arms down to 6 and 12. Twist from your belly, shine your heart out. So your left arm is now on your front leg. Maybe rooting into that inner thigh to help open through your hip. Keep grounding and balancing out by pressing down through the outer knife edge of the back foot. Your top arm, your right arm here, could be straight up if you desire, or you can flip your palm to face towards your face and extend your fingertips out long, creating an extension of energy from your back foot all the way up to your top fingertips. Beautiful job. Inhale, reverse triangle, root down with your feet as engage your abs to lift your torso up and straighten your front leg. Lift your left hand up, right hand down. So now your back hand is gently resting on your back leg. Or maybe you find a nice little wrap around. Reach up toward the ceiling with your front arm so you can lengthen through your torso. Shift the weight of your front foot into the ball of your foot. Beautiful job. Inhale here. Exhale, warrior two. Drop it back down. Coming back to center, we're gonna go into triangle pose. So straighten your front leg, bring your hands to your hips. You might wanna shorten your stance here a little bit, make life a little easier. You also might wanna block if you have one. Again, it's not necessary, but if you have one, bring it to the front of your mat. So from here, we're just a little shorter, straight leg, back leg 45 degrees, front leg facing toward the front of the mat, arms out. In either direction, gaze over your left fingertips. Inhale here. Exhale, tilt your pelvis forward as you reach forward like your favorite thing in the whole world is right in front of you and you're gonna grab it. And then draw your left arm down, right arm up. Keep your front leg straight. Just a little micro bend. Once again, twist from your belly, shine your heart out. Find little Trikonasana triangle pose. Perhaps your hand is on your thigh, right here. Perhaps it is on your shin. Maybe it is on a block. Maybe it's on a chair or something stable and steady to rest it on. Keep rooting down through the ball mound of the front of your foot. Keep a micro bend in your knee. Fire up your left glute to help rotate your knee in line with your second and third toe in the front leg. Beautiful job, everyone. Once again, ground down evenly through both feet. Engage your abs. Inhale, rise back up. Beautiful job. And shake and face your toes toward the long edges of your mat. Shake it out just a moment. If you use that block, move it to the other side. We're gonna do the other side now, even ourselves out. So you've got a nice wide-legged stance here. Rotate your left leg, now your back foot into 45 degrees, and then take your front leg, the right leg, rotate knee, ankle, thigh, everything goes now trending toward the front of your mat. Walk that foot out enough so that as you bend into your front knee, your right knee, you notice that this knee doesn't come past your ankle. If it does, either widen your stance or don't bend down quite as much. Shift the weight into the heel of your front foot, outer knife edge of your back foot, your left foot now. Feel that opening through your groin. your heart and your hips shining toward the long edge of your mat, and then bring your hands into the equation. Extend your fingertips out to either direction. Gaze over your right fingertips. Nice big inhale here, connect back in with your breath. Inhale, sink a little lower. Exhale, extended side angle, reach out in front of you, and then bring your right arm down, left arm up. Right arm meets the inner right thigh. Shine your heart out. Feel that little twist through your belly. And then once again, your top arm, your left arm can be shining straight up, or you could extend to create that long line of energy from your back foot through your top fingertips, flipping your palm down towards your face, and then extending your hand up to the upper corner of the room. Beautiful job. Root down with your feet. Inhale, rise back up. Reverse warrior. Keep your legs, or reverse triangle, sorry. Straighten your front leg. Swap your arms. Find a gentle shift of your hips forward. Move the weight into the ball of your front foot. Keep that micro bend in your knee. Exhale, warrior two. Bring your hands back down. And then inhale, bring your hands to your hips. If you shortened your stance on the other side for triangle, do it again here. So just bring one of the feet forward. Just a little closer together. Makes life a lot easier. And then when you're ready, bring your arms back out once again. Root down through the ball of your front foot. Fire up your right glute this time to keep that front thigh rotating outward. Inhale here. Exhale, extend forward. Find your favorite thing in front of you. Once again, reach out and grab it. And then bring right arm down, left arm up. Shine your heart and your belly out to the long edge of your mat. Find Trikonasana on this side. Perhaps your right arm is on your thigh. Maybe it's on your shin. Maybe it reaches the ground. Keep rooting down through the ball of your front foot, outer knife edge of the back foot. Keep a micro bend in your front knee. Come back to your breath here. Nice deep stretch. Use the grounding down of your feet into the mat to help support and give you that nice strong foundation so that you can get into the juicy twisting section of this pose. And inhale, rise back up. You did it. Bring your hands back toward front center. Shake out your legs. Beautiful job. So once again, we're gonna go a little deeper with those in a different flow here. So coming back up to the beginning top edge of your mat. Maybe your block comes up there for the moment. Bring your feet back together or hips width, whatever's gonna give you the most stability this morning. Hips width can be a little more stable, but for me, we're gonna go into chair pose. I personally like to have my feet together for that because I can really squeeze my thighs in together. So you decide what feels the most comfortable. Inhale here. Exhale, come back to your focus, your intention. Inhale, chair pose. Sink your hips back like you're sitting down in a chair. Bend through your knees. Move the weight into your heels. Zipper up your thighs. Really squeeze them together. So here's your side view. There's a little slight tailbone heads down as your hip points head up slightly. Knit your abs in towards your spine so you can bring your arms up. Rotate your armpits toward one another. Option to bring hands to heart center if this is not feeling good with arms in the air. Here's your front view. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Beautiful job. Keep squeezing. Pretend you have a mermaid tail on this morning. You have one strong unit. Look down and see if you can see your toes. If not, shift the weight more into your heels to help draw your hips back. Sink lower in your chair. Great job. Inhale here. Exhale, stand up. You did it. A very strong hold. Shake them out. We're gonna go into a twist from there. So same pose, adding a little twist from the belly. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Shift your hips back even more as you tilt, hinging from your torso, tilt your torso forward. Exhale, twist to the right. Drop your left elbow down, right elbow up. Press your hands into one another to help accentuate your twist. Your left elbow, your lower elbow, is going to find either the inner left thigh or the outer right. The outer right's deeper. And then once you find your arms and find that twist, maybe peek down again at your feet. Make sure that the left knee hasn't crept in front of the right knee. If it has, gently shift that knee back in line. Sink your hips back a little lower. If you want to extend it from here, you could open up your arms and fly. One more breath here. Exhale, forward fold. Beautiful job. Shake your legs. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Extend through your spine. Exhale, forward fold. Let's do the other side. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Inhale, grow long through your spine as you sink your bum back into that chair. Exhale, twist to your left. Drop your right elbow down this time. Twist to the other side. Now you're grounding down through the heels of your feet and squeezing, sending that grounding energy up through your thighs to create that stability. If you flew on the other side, fly on this side, open your arms up. One more big inhale here. Exhale, forward fold. Beautiful job. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Utkatasana one more time. Shift the weight into your left heel. Yes, left heel. We'll go this side of this first. Lift your right heel up off the ground. Wrap your outer left hip in. Fire up your glute on that side. We're gonna step back once again. Step the right leg back. So you can step it right back, or you can go through warrior three, a little balance challenge. Tilt your torso forward. Maybe your arms stay out in front of you. Kick back. Full warrior three. Ignite your abs to get you there. And then you step back. Arms come up. Warrior one. So from here, friends, you can bring your hands down to your hips to find your grounding first. It's the same legs as warrior two. So the back foot is out 45 degrees. The front knee is bent and the weight is in the heel of the front foot. The only difference now, this time your heart and your hips are shining toward the front of your mat. And when you found that balance point, lift your arms up. Should feel a nice little opening and stretch through the front right hip, the front psoas. And from here, tuck your tailbone slightly under, lift through your hip points, really knit your abs in towards your spine to lengthen through your spine. Beautiful job. Inhale here. Exhale, straighten your front leg. Bring your hands to your hips. We're gonna go into pyramid pose. And once again, just like triangle, you might wanna shorten your stance. So maybe you walk the back foot in just a little bit. And you may want to block the chair next to you, although you don't need it. So both feet facing forward from here. Both hips and heart facing forward. Once again, knit your abs in. Find that length through your spine. And then shift the weight into the ball of your front foot. Inhale your arms up. Rotate your armpits toward one another. And from here, we're going to hinge from your hips, bow forward. Use your core strength to keep your arms stay in the air as long as you can make it, keeping your spine lengthened. Hinge from your hips, come down. If you need to bring your arms down to help support your journey, do so. And then when you find that edge, keeping your abs knitted in to protect your spine, then you bring your arms down and they find a spot, just like triangle. Maybe it's your thigh today. Maybe it is a chair today. And you lean forward this way. Maybe you have the block in front of you. Maybe your hands make it to the ground and you tent your fingers. So you find your spot. Keep a micro bend in your front knee, just and bend it a little bit more if that feels better to you. You should feel a nice, strong hamstring stretch through both legs. Gently shift your left hip back, right hip forward. Maybe it barely moves. You just feel that little smidgen of a change. Keep the weight in the ball of your front foot. Maybe your nose makes it to your knee. Maybe not. These yoga poses have this textbook version, this crazy looking picture sometimes, but really the actual act of the yoga is finding the essence of the pose, the version that fits your body on this particular day. And if your hands are down on the ground, walk them back in line with your shoulders. Now really root down through both feet. Maybe you bend into the front knee a little bit to give you extra support. Engage your abs, knit them in towards your spine. Maybe your arms come up in front of, grounding on your, next to your ears, and then you lift yourself back up. Exhale, bring your hands down. Beautiful job. You did it, shake your legs out. We're gonna do the other side. So coming back to the top of your mat, inhale Utkatasana, chair pose. Zipper up your thighs, sit back down into your chair, knit your abs in. Now shift the weight into your right foot, wrap your outer right hip in, fire up your right glute, your right hamstring. Gently lift your left heel off the ground. And then you're gonna step your left foot back. So once again, step it straight back or take that opportunity to play with Warrior 3 on the transition. Tilt your torso forward, extend your hands out long, flex through your lifted leg, knit your abs in nice and tight. And then when you're ready, step it back, find Warrior 1. And once again, you can bring your hands to your hips if you wanna find that nice, strong, grounded base. So bend through your front knee, shift the weight into your front heel, and then outer knife edge of your back foot, now your left foot. So that's Warrior 2, but we're doing Warrior 1. So hips and heart now trend forward toward the top of your mat. Engage your abs in, slight tuck in your pelvis, lift through your belly. And then when you're ready, arms up. Find that length through your spine, root down in the heel of your front foot to bend through your knee. Fire up your glute of your right leg to help rotate that knee in the front out in line with your second and third toe. Inhale here. Exhale, straighten your leg, bring your hands down to your hips. We're gonna do pyramid on this side. So take your back foot, step it up. Shorten your stance once again. Align both toes toward the front of your mat. Shift the weight into the balls of both feet, micro bend, both knees, arms up, or hands to heart center. Find your spot, knit your abs in here, grow long through your spine as you inhale. Exhale, start to hinge from your hips, tilt forward. Your strong abs are gonna get you down there with control, with grace. And then your hands will find what they're gonna find. Maybe it's your front thigh to be able to elongate through your spine. Maybe it's your calf on your right leg. Maybe it's the ground. Maybe it's a block. And find your edge here. You can utilize your breath, come back to your breath as each inhale. Maybe you lift up a little bit and elongate through your spine. Each exhale, maybe you surrender down a little more. A few breaths here. Come back to your intention. If your back heel is lifting up, either give a slight bend to your front knee or shorten your stance a little bit. Ready to come back up, root down evenly through both feet. Maybe you bend the front knee a little bit. Really fire up those abs. Inhale, rise up. Maybe your arms come out to hug your ears once again. You come back up. And down. Beautiful job, team. Okay. We're going to do one wide-legged forward fold. Then we're gonna get in our revolved triangle, and then we'll be heading down to stretch it out on the ground. So from here, step out nice and wide to the long edges of your mat, toes in a little bit, heels out. Send the weight into the balls of your feet. Once again, micro bend in your knees. Hands come to your hips, or maybe they come up and you do a little back bend. Inhale, push your hips forward, shine your heart up. Exhale, forward fold. Root down through the balls of your feet. Bend your knees as much as you need to and engage your abs as you hinge from your hips and come down. Maybe your hands find a block once again, or the chair or something, maybe a water bottle. That's a good way to lift yourself up. I don't know if you guys can see the water bottle here. Or if you're able to tent your fingers down on the ground, maybe that's where you land today. Maybe you have a lot of extension today and you can actually walk your hands through your legs, behind your feet. Point your fingertips away from your body, so they're pointing out behind you. Keep that micro bend in your knees. Keep rooting down into the ball mounds of your feet. Shake your head yes and no. Once again, gravity can assist you in lengthening out your spine through this stretch. And then if your hands were walked behind you, walk them underneath your shoulders. Or if they're on a prop, keep them on the prop. Root into your feet to fire up your legs. Knit your abs in. Inhale, halfway lift. Bring your hands to your hips. Inhale, rise up. Beautiful job. Heel toe your feet back in. Shake about. Right, we're going to get into our revolved triangle now. So step to the front of your mat from here. And I'll go this way so you can see my face. You might want your block once again, or your chair. So from the top of your mat, start to shift your weight into your left side. Once again, fire up your left glute. Gently lift the right heel off the ground. Option to step back slowly or just step back. So if you want the balance challenge, you're welcome to go through it. I recommend you try your arms out behind you in airplane arms. Pretend you're holding a ball. Tilt your torso forward as you kick back your right leg and step it back when you're ready. It's like we did in pyramid pose. So shorten that stance once again. Straighten both legs. Once again, just as we did before in pyramid, hips and heart face toward the top of your mat. So inhale, lift your arms up. Exhale, find your pyramid pose once again. Perhaps your hands come down. Perhaps they stay out for a while. Find your landing for your hands. Stay here in pyramid, or you can continue on to revolved triangle. For revolved triangle, root your right hand down onto whatever it's resting on, the block, the thigh, whatever. And then twist. Start to twist from your belly, lifting your left hand up. So you're twisting toward your front leg. This is a deep one. Once again, if your back heel is lifting up, you can shorten your stance. You can bend through your front knee a little bit. Keep rooting down into the ball of your front foot. That's going to give you that stability. Fire up your front glute. And then as you root down through your foot, you can help leverage the twist in your torso. Doing amazing. One more big inhale here. Exhale, bring your left arm down, untwist. Low lunge. Bend through your front knee, give it a break. And we'll do the other side. So step your back foot up to meet your front foot, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain, root down, rise up. And exhale, hands to heart center. I'm gonna go back to the other side so you can see my face when we twist. But you can stay right where you are. This time, shifting the weight into your right leg, your right hip, fire up your right glute. Lift your left heel up off the ground. Option to kick through, bring your hands back to that airplane, kick back slowly or kick back quicker. You choose how fast you get there. Stepping your left foot back, drawing your torso forward, knitting your abs in towards your spine. And step back when you're ready. Yes, beautiful job, Claire. Love it. Okay, shorten your stance just a little bit so you can find that ease and balance. Shine both feet toward the top of your mat. Hips and heart all align up toward the top of your mat. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, find pyramid pose. Hinge from your hips, root down with your feet. Engage your abs to lower you down. When you're ready, don't strain your back. Find your hands to support you, lowering down to find that pyramid pose. From here, root the weight for your hand into your left hand. Start to twist from your belly. Lift your right arm up. Finishing up our standing, our deep twists. Keep the weight in the ball mound of your front foot. You guys are doing great. A few more breaths here. One more nice big inhale. Exhale, low lunge, drop your right hand down, bend your right knee just a bit. And then step your back foot up to meet your front foot. And shake out those legs. You got really deep into your hamstrings today. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose, final chair pose. From here, zipper up your thighs. Really get into that squeezing, so strong. One more big inhale here, sink a little lower. Exhale, curl down. Plant your palms. Lift your heels up, find a little ball pose. So lift your heels up off the ground. Use your hands to balance and support you by pressing them down into the earth. And bend deeply through your knees. Rest your torso on your thighs. Maybe you tuck your chin down into your chest. Make a real little ball. And from here, we're going to make our way onto our seat, onto our bum, onto our sit bone. So you can use your hands and gently walk them behind you or to a side to help assist yourself down. So that's one way to come down. If you want a little more action-packed day today, I invite you to try rolling back and finding boat pose. So it's gonna be a lot more balance and ab work. So from there, take your hands up off the ground, squeeze your thighs together, knit your abs in, start to shift your weight back, and find boat pose. And if you've rolled onto your sit bones, I invite you also to find boat pose for just a moment. Maybe your heels are on the ground, maybe they're parallel, maybe your legs are long. Shine your chest up, knit your abs in, tilt slightly backwards. Hold for one more second. Beautiful job, roll forward. You did it. We will start with a little bit more twisting in here. So draw your right knee in, keep your left leg long. Maybe this right knee comes all the way into your groin. That might not feel good on your knees. If it doesn't, just don't go that tightly. I hope you guys can all see me. I'm starting to get into the lower end. So here's kind of what we're working with. We're aiming toward getting the right heel into your groin, but it might not go all the way there. If it needs to be out a little more, that's totally fine. You could also bring your pillow friend in underneath the bent knee to support you. All right, many options. And then from there, once you've found your sweet spot, inhale, lift your arms up, lengthen through your spine, and then start to twist towards your long leg. So now it's as though you're aiming toward your left toes, toward the long toes. Inhale, once again, grow longer. Exhale, fold, hinge from your hips, fold over your left leg. And then where your hands will go where they need to. So maybe that's your shin and you hang out right here. Maybe they walk and find your foot, your ankle. Getting a little deeper side body twist into the mix here. And once again, utilize your breath, come back to those, fill those tight spots, use the inhale to nourish any spots that are tense. You might feel this along the right side of your body. Allow each exhale to help you surrender a little more into the pose. And then gently, ever so gently, use your hands to walk up your leg, come back up to center. Let's do the other side. So you're gonna lengthen, straighten out your right leg now. My mat has really traveled today. And your left foot's gonna come in. Left knee is bent, or maybe it comes under here, under the pillow. Inhale, rise up, lift your arms up. As you exhale, twist towards your long leg, flex your right foot. Inhale, grow even longer now that you're twisted, and then exhale, hinge from your hips, draw forward towards your long leg, and then your hands will come down. You can actually use your hands once they've come down onto your leg to help shift your torso a little bit more in line with that long leg. And then maybe stay right here. Maybe you find it ease and a good stretch that feels okay. You're looking for an edge, not ouch. If you feel ouch, your body is asking you to please back off. So please listen to your body, find your edge. A nice deep stretch, but not with pain. It can feel intense, just not painful. And then come back to your breath. Help it guide you. And then gently, ever so gently, use your hands to press your torso back up, to walk yourself back up to seated. Beautiful job. Move that pillow out of the way. Bring both legs in line, out long. We'll do one quick stretch to even things out, to straighten things out. So flex through both your feet, ground down evenly through your sit bones. Inhale, lift your arms up. Exhale, hinge from your hips, fold over. And once again, maybe your hands come here to your shins. Maybe they find your ankles, your feet. And then gently walk up your legs with your hands, rise back up. Bend your knees to help shift your hips forward, and then gently roll yourself down to lying down on your mat. I think I've moved out of the camera down here. Yep. So from lying down, bend your knees. We're gonna do a quick bridge pose. Walk your heels in towards your hips. Bring your hands down next to your hips with your palms facing down. Ground down into your heels, ground down into your hands. Press into the earth with heels and hands. Tuck your pelvis, lift your hips up toward the sky. Root down through your heels to ignite your hamstrings and squeeze your glutes. Maybe you interlace your hands underneath your bum and roll your shoulders under. Totally optional. As you press down through your heels, imagine them drawing away from your body to help propel your hips up higher. And then when you've had enough, when you're ready, start to roll down to the mat, vertebrae by vertebrae. Your tailbone will be the last thing to arrive. And then drop both knees in toward each other. Walk your feet out to the edges of your mat for broken bridge. Maybe you bring one hand to your belly, one hand to your heart. Just breathe here for a few breaths. Just reset, realign your spine. And then coming back to center, hug your right knee into your chest, extend your left leg long. If that feels like a little bit too much, you can keep your left foot on the mat, left knee bent. So you decide, but either way, hug into your right knee. Gently drawing that knee towards your right armpit. Feel a little opening through your hip as you squeeze and hug and thank your right leg for all it does for you. And then exhale, supine twist. Gently use your hands to draw your right knee across your body, twisting. Right knee draws over to the left. Adjust your left hip over your right hip. And maybe your shoulders come back, your right shoulder comes back down on the mat, maybe not. Option to extend your right arm out behind you. Maybe you even look back behind you to the right. Maybe your left hand gently guides your right knee down toward the mat. I invite you to release your Ujjayi breath here, your yogic breath. Shift your breath now to those longer, deeper inhales and exhales. Start to bring your focus into rest and release. And then in the most gentle way, roll yourself back to center. Even out your spine here. Maybe you bend both knees, place both feet on the ground to realign your spine. Find a neutral spine once again. And then draw your left knee into your chest. Perhaps your right leg comes out long. Maybe it stays bent. You decide what feels best for you. And then hug your left knee into your chest. If it works for your body, try to squeeze that knee toward, it's probably not gonna ever reach there, but it's sort of heading toward the left armpit. A little squeeze, a little hug, thank it for all it does for you. Exhale, supine twist. Draw your left leg across your body. Align your hips over one another, and then perhaps your left shoulder comes back down on the mat. Maybe that left arm extends out long. Come back to your breath here. Breathe into any nooks and crannies that are asking for a little love and attention. And then gently make your way back to center here to realign your spine once again. When you've found your neutral spine, hug both knees into your chest here. And give everything a little squeeze, a little hug. Squeeze it in. Thank yourself for coming to yoga today, for spending 60 minutes just for you. And then hug and squeeze everything here. Exhale, Shavasana, resting pose. Extend your legs and your arms out long. Close your eyes. Take a moment, or as long as you like, to integrate all your hard work. This most important extra grounding pose, Shavasana. I will call you out in a moment, or you can stay here as long as you have time. Once again, my friends, I invite you to stay as long as you have time. Give your body that extra rest. But if it is time for you to move on to the next adventure in your day, start to bring your awareness back to the space. And start to invite in any little micro movements that feel supportive and feel right. Maybe you wiggle your fingers and your toes, rotate your wrists and your ankles. And then letting that go in the most gentle way. Roll to your side of choice. Pause for a moment, really feeling your body melting into the mat, resting, being supported by the mat, by your yoga practice, and that eternal grounding support of the earth below it. And then again, in the most gentle way, make your way up to a seated position. I invite you to keep your eyes closed. Bring your hands to heart center. Coming back to that concept of grounding, I want to share a quote that I found inspiring. It is, "Get yourself grounded, and you can navigate even the stormiest roads in peace." That is by Steve Gardier. And so with that thought, I invite you to take opportunities off the mat as well as getting back on the mat, of finding little ways to bring yourself back to a grounded place so that you can be more present and navigate all those stormy roads that life brings us. With that, my friends, it is the teacher in me honors and thanks and appreciates the teacher in every single one of you. It is an honor and a privilege to get to flow with you every Saturday. And I thank you. Have a blessed, beautiful day. Namaste. Thank you, everyone.